Good evening and welcome to Tuần-san News of the Week. My name is Emma Doe. In what's making headlines this week? Typhoon Doksuri heads towards Vietnam. A Vietnamese billionaire donates $5 million to victims of Hurricane Harvey. And a Houston Vietnamese café creates a flavoured ice cream. In this week's top story, a new report released in the UK has urged for more regulations on British nail salons after the report highlighted the rising number of exploited Vietnamese nationals brought to work illegally in nail bars and cannabis farms. The report released by the independent anti-slavery commissioner Kevin Highland found that most of those smuggled into the UK were children from poor and rural parts of Vietnam, and many had been tricked into their exploitation. Those brought to work in nail bars were often forced to work 6 days a week and housed in cramped conditions. One woman was reportedly paid only £30 a week for her 7 days of full-time work. Other cases in the report detail workers being forced to use their small incomes to pay off crippling debts to traffickers and smugglers. The report urged for more regulatory measures to be placed on nail salons in the UK to verify working conditions, a move that New York City introduced 2 years ago after the New York Times revealed the extent of exploitation in the city's nail bars. In the last 2 years, police in the UK have raided multiple cannabis farms which employ young Vietnamese gardeners, but the report found that rescued children often went missing after being taken into care and fell back into the same cycles. A recent article in the British newspaper The Guardian detailed a holding camp in northern France where between 40 to 100 young Vietnamese migrants stay on their way into the UK. The camps are hidden in the woods but have been known to exist for over a decade, frequently visited by charity groups. Even the local government supplies cold running water, but both French and British authorities have done little to address the issue of people smuggling. A British couple has been jailed for trying to smuggle 12 Vietnamese migrants into a van loaded with tyres. Katie Bethel and her then partner Aaron Harris, both 28 and from Gillingham in Kent, were arrested in July 2015 at a Eurotunnel check-in. 4 men, 5 women and 3 children were found hidden among the tyres after an official spotted a pair of legs. On Monday, Harris was jailed for 5 years, while Bethel was sentenced to 2 years and 9 months at Maidstone Crown Court. Almost 6 months after being appointed Vietnam's tourism ambassador, American director Jordan Vogt Roberts has been hospitalised following local reports that he was attacked in a bar. It's not clear if the director of the movie Kong Skull Island was targeted or was just caught in the crossfire. Thanh Nien newspaper reports that Vogt Roberts was attacked while entering the bar in Ho Chi Minh City with some Vietnamese friends on Saturday night. Tvts newspaper quoted police sources saying that the incident took place at XOXO restaurant in District 1. Police are currently investigating the incident. Vietnam is bracing itself for the approaching Typhoon Doksuri, which has been steadily gaining strength as it moves from the Philippines towards northern and central Vietnam. Doksuri hit parts of the Philippines as a tropical depression, causing at least 3 deaths and bringing heavy rain and landslides along with it. The storm is expected to come close to China's southern Hainan province and will make landfall on Vietnam tomorrow. Doksuri is categorized as the strongest tropical storm in the South China Sea since early this year, and it's expected it'll bring flash floods to mountainous regions along with 320-kilometer winds. It's the second storm currently hitting the region, with Typhoon Talim heading towards Taiwan and China at the moment. Now to an update in the case surrounding former Vietnamese state official Tuần-san, who Germany accuses Vietnam of kidnapping. Documents obtained by the Reuters news service shows that Vietnam's government cleared Dinh of any wrongdoing back in 2015. A letter from then Trade Minister Vũ Huy Hoàng to then Prime Minister Nguyễn Tấn Dũng stated that the government had not found anything troubling about Dinh behaviour. The letter stated that no disciplinary action would be dealt to Dinh in regards to the $150 million losses that occurred at Petro Vietnam during his time as an executive as one of the company's subsidiaries. From mid-2016, Jint disappeared from the country after the new government reopened his case and accused him of mismanaging Petro-Vietnam's funds, thereby causing the losses. Jint's case was part of a series of anti-corruption crackdowns enacted by the new government. He was subject to an international manhunt, which came to an end just last month after Jint was found seeking asylum in Germany. Vietnamese state TV then showed Jint stating that he willingly surrendered himself to the government. But Germany accuses Vietnam of kidnapping the former executive in a Berlin park. A Vietnamese billionaire who came to the US as a refugee has donated $5 million to the victims of Hurricane Harvey. The Daily Mail cited Hoàng Gil as saying the gift was his way of paying back America after being able to flee the Vietnam War and settle in the country in 1975. The 73-year-old is the owner of a California-based company called Rare Antibody Antigen Supply, which is worth $14 billion. According to Forbes, he has a personal worth of around $3 billion. Hurricane Harvey became the most powerful hurricane to hit the state of Texas in more than 50 years, killing more than 60 people, displacing more than 1 million, and damaging some 203,000 homes. Vietnamese police have detained 7 people from the country's northern Dien Bien province for transporting a total of nearly 5 kilograms of opium from Laos to Vietnam. Among the 7 detainees was Giang A Thao from the district of Muang Nha, who was caught red-handed when transporting the biggest amount of opium, 1.5 kilograms. According to the provincial police, the detainees crossed borders to work as manual labourers in Laos and then used their wages to buy opium and come back to Vietnam for resale. Under Vietnamese law, those convicted of smuggling over 600 grams of heroin or more than 2.5 kilos of methamphetamines are punishable by death. Hanoi's air quality is only acceptable less than 2 days a week. That's according to a new study published by a Hanoi-based NGO. The report presented data from the first half of 2017, comparing it to the same period in 2016. The NGO Green Innovation and Development Centre found that Hanoi suffered 139 days excessive of the PM 2.5 level, which means the particle-dense air is about 1/30th as thick as the width of human hair. The data showed no relation between the concentration of pollutants and peak traffic, suggesting that pollution came from other sources, such as factories and the energy industry. Exhaust gases from power plants can contain many pollutants and dusts, which then spread out to urban areas. Back to news in Australia. An elderly Queensland man remains in a serious but stable condition in hospital after being shot by police south of Brisbane on Sunday. The 72-year-old, an alleged Vietnam War veteran with mental health issues, was shot once in the right shoulder after police were called on Sunday morning to a disturbance at a Woodridge property. Queensland's police union has defended the officer who shot the elderly man after he allegedly came at police with knives. Police have also confirmed that the incident was caught on officers' body cameras. The footage will now form part of an investigation by the Ethical Standards Command. Now, a story for all the pho lovers out there. A modern Vietnamese cafe in Houston, Texas has created a pho-flavoured ice cream using the traditional dish's aromatics along with a dash of real beef broth. The unexpected flavour was developed by Cat Huynh from the Le Baguette Vietnamese cafe and made by Lee's Creamery Ice Cream, another Texan business. The collaboration first resulted in a passion fruit iced tea flavour, along with café sữa đá and other top-selling drinks from the cafe. The latest experimental flavour mix contains cinnamon, star anise, cloves, coriander and cardamom, which have been steeped in beef broth for 24 hours. The result, according to a local blogger, is not overpoweringly beefy, but is definitely both sweet and savoury at once. That's all from Tuần-san News of the Week. For more stories, you can follow Tuần-san at tvtsonline.com.au and at Facebook at Tuần-san. I'm Emma Doe, thank you so much for watching, and I look forward to your company at the same time next week.